All right, okay, let's watch this one. Logan Paul being brutally honest on KSI versus Logan Paul. Jake Paul, sorry.
Welcome back to another Punch Plan
Oh.
video. In this one, Logan Paul gives his honest thoughts on Jake Paul versus KSI.
But I don't think Jake would ever take that kind of fight. Like if his opponent, like what would happen if his opponent backed out, fight's over. Like I'm not gonna fill the spot with
Dog. I love both of these cats.
For sure.
Right? One's my brother, one's my friend and business partner. But Jake is on some other shit right now.
Right.
There's no way, ifs, ands, and buts about it. He's on some other shit right now, putting on boxing events at really the highest level, getting respect from the boxing industry and challenging himself with opponents that every single one of Jake's opponents at the time he's fighting them has a chance to win. It doesn't look like Jake's always going to win, right?
Right.
KSI had one real option yesterday. Otherwise, it would have been an L for him. And it was to knock both people out, right? And he did. I argued that the pressure was on him. Because remember, guys, he sandwiched the card. He opened it with a fight, knocked the guy out. Closed it with a fight, knocked the guy out. In my head, that was the only possible outcome that could have happened that made it a win for him, which it did.
I think he won regardless because at the end of the day, it's entertainment, and I was entertained
throughout. That's why it's a win. The entire card was phenomenally entertaining.
KSI might have beat a child yesterday, but it was the greatest show of boxing out of all your shows, out of all of Jake Paul's shows.
It was a great night.
It was fun, dude. I think everybody wanted to see a pro boxer beat up a kid at one point.
So the other big question they asked me at the end of the night too was, and I'm sure they're asking you, is like, tonight, KSI and Jake Paul fight. What happens? What happens in the event that these two walked into a ring right now at their current skill levels, their current physical fitness, get in the ring and fight each other? And you were trying to push me away from answering the question. Well, you don't play in it very often
at all. I'm not participating in the
But I simply said this. KSI went in the ring last night, did what he had to do, quote unquote, knocked the rust off, got back into that feeling of fighting. He'll go back into camp, he'll take another fight, so on and so forth. But if you put JJ and Jake Paul in a ring today, Jake Paul wins that fight.
I don't know.
Now listen, KSI is a monster. He's an animal in that ring. He was back with those fucking overhand rights last night. He throws intense punches. He hits body shots.
You never know what's gonna happen.
He's an incredible fighter, and he's gonna be a great fighter. But the thing is that Jake doesn't do anything else. This is what I was talking to the interviewers about last night. There's no Arsenal Prime. There's no reacts. There's no Sidemen tape.
No, he has that new show,
stop.
BS with Jake Paul. BS with Jake Paul.
Fuck, you're throwing my whole shit off. You're right. That just started. BS with Jake Paul, check it out. But for the most part, the kid is locked in.
Yeah.
But even BS with Jake Paul is a boxing-related program.
And by the way, I told him, I said, this journey of podcasting in long form is a long one. And you're going to be doing this for a while, and it's going to be really hard to keep up with as you're trying to be, a world champion boxer.
And I just want to caveat and say this. That doesn't mean that in a year or in 6 months or whatever, that outcome is still the same prediction for me. You know what I'm saying? I think JJ keeps fighting. I think he takes another fight. He continues to show what he's capable of, right?
Yeah, so that was the interesting thing. And I saw Jake
believe there's going to be
because
2 more fights for JJ. Actually.
JJ didn't call Jake out.
Right.
He called Tate out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what route he was going to go, but it looks like he wants to, I guess, oil up his machine a little more, get some more experience under his belts before he fights Jake, which
Makes sense.
I don't mind.
Me neither. I just wonder what everybody wants to see that.
Yeah. But we know it's inevitable, bro.
Yeah.
Like we have to create and craft a beautiful storyline that hooks people in from start to finish, and we can continue doing that. There's no reason to make it happen now. I'm glad him and Jake didn't fight on this card, right? Like that was a conversation for 1 second. He called out Andrew Tate at the end, which by the way, should we dive into the Tate stuff? I think it's a good.
I want to just chime in on the Jake KSI. Just real quick before you get into the Andrew Tate. I think that still would be a good fight because Jake, we've seen where he goes with it, but we still haven't been able to see where KSI could take it. Regardless of what he did yesterday, bro, he was he could have gone and done 4 of those fights over again. Like he was ready and he was in shape, and
incredible shape.
the guy wasn't able to push him to the point where he was even threatened. So there might be a chance that he's hiding in his arsenal something that we don't even know about. Do you get what I'm saying?
We
If
know
that
what
makes
he's hiding in his arsenal because he's showed it even earlier on with Logan. I mean, the kid can actually fight. Is a real contender. Like I mean, if you're not putting
I feel like
JJ and Jake at 1-2 in the space, I mean, is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
and
statistically, for
it's
sure.
just a matter of just where you're putting 1-2. And I specifically say today I have my thoughts, but I'm interested to see where that goes in 6 months to a year.
So with that being said, let me know down below who you think wins a
Yeah.
fight between Jake Paul and KSI. And if you enjoyed the video,
You
make
never
sure you
know,
like
man.
and subscribe for all future YouTube boxing content and news.
Honestly, right now, skill-wise, I still think Jake Paul is gonna win, but that's why JJ is gonna fight one more time. Maybe he's gonna fight 2 times, even though in January there is a card coming out that JJ is gonna fight in January. But the thing is, when he fights in January, he needs one more fight to fight than Jake, because pretty much JJ needs one more fight to get the same fights that Jake has. So pretty much JJ has 5 fights, so 5-0 he is pretty much, and Jake Paul is 6-0. So it's a huge difference. And yeah, I mean, right now Jake probably yes, but you never know what's gonna happen in boxing. One time he drop his hands like with Tyron Woodley type of thing. Split decision, first win for Jake, and then the second one freaking knockout cold. And yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, you know. But I hope JJ wins, honestly. His fucking ego is, bro, I love his ego, man. But yeah, nice. Good video.